Lewis Hamilton did not move to Maranello to serve as a high-profile number 2 driver. And the Chinese Grand Prix has just proved that the Hamilton effect is already systematically dismantling Charles Leclerc's territory.
Talking very well. Some great racing out there. Maybe it gave you a bit of a nerve sometime between Charles and Lewis?
No, I checked on my whoop and it was okay.
What was marketed as a dream partnership for the 2026 season has rapidly devolved into a tactical nightmare for Frédéric Vasseur. The team principal stood frozen on the pit wall, watching the 7-time world champion deliver a brutal masterclass in energy management and sheer aggression that left the Monegasque driver looking like an amateur. While Charles was visibly fighting the balance of his car, Hamilton was manipulating the battery deployment with surgical precision through the exits of turns 12 and 13.
This is the new Ferrari sponsor, the Whoop band, yes.
I have the
Okay, your heart rate on there. Okay.
I don't know if it was a test or not, but it went pretty well. No.
Okay.
I trust them, and for sure it's always tricky because it's difficult to stop them. I don't want to ask them to freeze the position, and I think it would have been unfair. They are professional, they did very well, and it's good for the team, it's good for the F1, and I prefer to stay like this.
Stalking his teammate like an apex predator. There are whispers echoing through the paddock that Ferrari has already begun prioritizing Lewis's technical feedback regarding the development of the floor, leaving Leclerc in a state of unprecedented isolation within his own team. The telemetry data does not lie, and the energy recovery statistics reveal a staggering chasm between the two drivers. Hamilton managed to maintain his state of charge, or SOC, at 12% higher than Leclerc's throughout the entirety of the second stint. This allowed Lewis to completely avoid the fatal clipping at the end of the long back straight, where the electric motor typically cuts out. While Charles was busy cooking his front tires trying to compensate for a chronic lack of traction, Lewis was expertly using bespoke braking maps to stabilize the suspension and preserve his rubber for the final assault. Many of you have commented that Ferrari might be holding Charles back or favoring the Briton, but the excessive wear recorded on the front suspension of car number 16 proves the issue lies elsewhere. Leclerc's driving style is proving to be far too erratic and aggressive for the nuances of the current technical regulations, leading to a massive thermal degradation that Hamilton simply didn't face. While the Ferrari duo of Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc were tearing each other apart on track, as I have just detailed for you, the once mighty papaya machines were reduced to nothing more than expensive garage ornaments. Witnessing a team of McLaren Mastercards caliber suffer a double did not start is not merely a technical fiasco. It is a profound humiliation that will carry a devastating price tag for team principal Andrea Stella. What is even more concerning is that the official excuse of pure coincidence is starting to smell incredibly foul within the corridors of the paddock.
Hi Lando, what can you tell us about the issue?
Well, obviously that we can't race. Just frustrating. It's on the PU side, so the guys tried as hard as they could to get everything sorted or find some solution, but were unable to. So disappointing. My first non-start in Formula One. So tough to take, but it's life sometimes.
When did you know?
The official line claims that distinct failures occurred within the same electronic components of the Mercedes power unit. Now, just stop and think with me for a moment. How is it possible that the Works Mercedes team secured a 1-2 finish with Kimi Antonelli and George Russell using the exact same engine architecture, while McLaren could not even crawl out of their pit boxes? High-ranking sources here in the paddock are suggesting that the heat map regarding McLaren's chassis integration with the new components from high-performance powertrains is literally frying the systems. Without a single byte of telemetry data under genuine race conditions, how on earth are they expected to understand the degradation of the 18-inch tires or the intricate energy deployment on the exit of low-speed corners? Every single mile lost is a massive blow to their development curve. While their rivals gathered data on how the suspension reacts to the heavy fuel loads, McLaren walked away with zero information and a mountain of repair bills. The big question hanging over the garage is whether McLaren has become a victim of their own engine supplier's dominance, or if there is something fundamentally broken within the design of their 2026 Challenger. Is the cooling packaging too tight, or has the integration of the hybrid system been completely miscalculated? Fernando Alonso, the legendary two-time world champion, renowned for extracting performance from even the most disastrous machinery, was forced to throw in the towel in Shanghai. The reason behind this unprecedented retirement is catastrophic. threatening to undermine the entire foundational philosophy of Adrian Newey's highly anticipated project for the 2026 technical regulations. This isn't just a minor setback, it's a fundamental crisis that has sent shockwaves through the Silverstone-based squad. Unseen onboard footage, which conveniently never made the world feed, reveals a truly horrifying spectacle.
¿Cuáles son los planes del equipo para las próximas semanas?
Pregunta al equipo, yo los planes míos los tengo muy claros de aquí a Japón, volver a casa, descansar, entrenar fuerte, preparar Japón de la manera correcta y ojalá en Honda hagan también deberes y podamos ver algún progreso en Japón.
While screaming down the massive back straight at Shanghai at speeds exceeding 200 miles per hour, Alonso is forced to momentarily release his grip on the steering wheel, desperately shaking his hands. The high-frequency vibration radiating through the AMR26 was so unbelievably violent that it physically resembled holding an industrial pneumatic drill, rather than piloting a pinnacle of automotive engineering. Sources embedded deep within the paddock are reporting that the resonant frequency was so intense, the Spaniard's vision actually began to blur significantly in the heavy braking zones. This represents an unacceptable and dangerous failure in driver environment design. The core of this nightmare lies in a devastating conflict between the harmonic frequency generated by the revolutionary new Honda battery pack and the structural rigidity of the chassis designed under Enrico Cardile. While Honda engineers are adamantly claiming they have successfully reduced vibrations within the internal combustion engine unit itself, Aston Martin has failed miserably to isolate this destructive harmonic energy from leaking directly into the cockpit structure. Adrian Newey, in a rare move, has reportedly dropped an absolute bombshell behind closed doors. Highly placed figures are confirming that Newey genuinely fears Alonso and Lance Stroll could suffer genuine and permanent neurological damage, particularly regarding nerve conduction in their arms and hands, if they continue to be exposed to this unrelenting, high-amplitude jackhammer effect. While Lewis Hamilton was delivering a clinic in energy management over at Ferrari, as we have already witnessed, Max Verstappen was desperately battling the internal demons of Red Bull Powertrains. His premature retirement was triggered by a catastrophic failure within the cooling circuit of the energy recovery system. To the casual observer, it might look like a simple fluid leak, but for those who understand electrical deployment, it is clear that if the mechanics had not ordered an immediate halt, that power unit would have transformed into a $10 million barbecue within seconds.
I think this weekend was particularly bad. I mean, it would help if we would just have a normal start also. Every time I've been dropping to last.
The haunting question remains, why is Red Bull, a team that was once the gold standard for reliability, struggling so violently with the packaging of this new engine, while Mercedes cruises effortlessly at the front? Many of you have suggested in the comments that Max has somehow forgotten how to launch the car, but the reality is far more sinister than a mere driver error. For the second time this weekend, the Red Bull 22 suffered from excessive wheel spin and erratic energy delivery, plummeting the four-time world champion down to 16th place.
Same problem as yesterday in the start, so we were last again. And then, tried to find my way forward, but again, the same problem as in the sprint where there was just a lot of drag. A lot of graining on the tires, so that always makes it very, very complicated. And then we had to retire the car with the ERS cooling issues. So.
The technical rot lies in the imbalance between the internal combustion and the electrical components. The torque mapping is in total conflict, and the moment the engine needs to deliver that initial punch, the battery enters a self-preservation safety mode. Max managed to claw his way back through the field on pure grit, but he was effectively balancing on a knife edge. If he pushed the race pace, the entire system would overheat, and that is precisely what happened. Verstappen did not pull any punches when attacking the new 2026 technical regulations.
How do you move on from this before heading to Japan?
A lot to learn from. It's definitely not where we want to be, of course, but I also know that the team is giving it everything. So it's frustrating for me, but it's also frustrating for them. But at the end of the day, of course, we need to try and figure it out together. We'll of course try to be a bit better for Japan, but after that, of course, we have a bit of a bigger break now that hopefully we can use to.
He bluntly stated that these rules are going to bite the backsides of the sports hierarchy very soon. The irony is palpable. Whilst Max is vocalizing his disdain, Toto Wolff's Mercedes outfit is wearing a smug grin, as they appear to have cracked the code of this new era before anyone else. The curiosity gap is genuinely terrifying. Is Max's discontent merely the frustration of a man losing his grip on the lead, or does he possess inside knowledge regarding the imminent failure of these heavy electrified machines? Has Red Bull completely lost its technical compass? Or has Max already checked out mentally from Milton Keynes to escape this 2026 fiasco? It feels as though the partnership is fracturing in real time under the immense heat of these technical failures.